Hi. Yeah, good afternoon. I just a few words to say that I just finished briefing the Security Council. As some of you may know, this is a meeting that I hold with the Council once a year to just share general observations on the refugee crisis around the world. As you can all imagine, the Council is very focused at the moment on the situation in Gaza, and rightly so. UNHCR does not have a mandate to operate in the Palestinian territory. This is UNRWA's mandate, but of course I shared with the Council as humanitarian, as a former head of UNRWA myself, our anguish in respect of the situation there. We join, of course, the I joined the Secretary General in calling for a humanitarian ceasefire and access of substantive aid into Gaza to relieve the plight of 2 million people, of whom half are children, especially at this time of intensified military action. But I insisted with the Council that it is important, in their role, given their role, not to lose sight of other crises that are continuing and where also international humanitarian law is not respected, civilians are impacted, and millions are displaced. I confirm that we're now using an even higher figure of displacement, 114 million refugees and displaced around the world. This is a figure of just a few days ago, which is even higher than the previous one, which was, if you recall, 110 million. So the global displacement problem is escalating due largely to the absence of political solutions that would allow people to go back to their homes voluntarily. And that was my strong message to the Council, and I mentioned a number of crises in this respect. Thank you.
So I think we're going to start Stefano first.
Thank you, Mr. Grandi. Stefano Vaccara, La Voce di New York. We understand that the UNHCR doesn't deal with, at the moment, with the Gaza issue, but I'm sure you are in Egypt. I mean, you can act in Egypt. And this is a simple question. If in this moment a Palestinian family or Palestinian citizen, Palestinian civilian wants to leave because he feels unsafe and wants to get to Egypt, shouldn't Egypt accept those people because they are refugees?
At the moment, let me repeat it again, the priority is to get aid into Gaza. Palestinians do not want to leave Gaza. They want aid to come into Gaza, and that should be the priority.
Hi, thank you. Gabriel Zondo from Al Jazeera. Mr. Grandi, I appreciate that your remit is not Gaza and not Palestine, so I appreciate that, and I heard your remarks to the Council. With that said, as a diplomat with more than 30 years of experience at the United Nations, and as you mentioned, the former head of UNRWA, have you seen the images from the Jabalia refugee camp? Have you seen them? What is your reaction to them as someone that deals with the refugee issue around the world?
I have seen them, and of course, these images bring back to mind images that I have seen myself when I was the head of UNRWA of previous conflicts. These are surely the gravest events that we have seen, including in all past years. I feel great pain, especially in respect of the population of Gaza that has suffered for so many years without a solution to this problem. Of course, I join the Secretary General and all those that have condemned all violations of this particular episode of conflict. The attacks and killings by Hamas of Israeli civilians, but now also the military operation that is causing so much death and destruction around Gaza. And we should not forget that also Palestinians in the West Bank are being killed these days. And therefore, there are not many options here, but a humanitarian ceasefire as soon as possible to put an end to this. But then, as I said in the Council, if you followed my statement, finally re-embrace a political process that has been willingly neglected in the last few years, a political process that should give eventually to the Israelis and Palestinians what they deserve: statehood, security, safety, and the possibility of living in peace. In the last few years, it has become almost, I said it in the Council, let me repeat, an object of ridicule when you spoke about we need peace between Israelis and Palestinians, as if it was not necessary. This proves how necessary it is for the Israelis and the Palestinians, for the region, and may I say, for the world.
Based on what you saw in the images from Jabalia in the last few hours, do you think it's a war crime?
Do you think?
Based on the images of what you've seen from the Jabalia refugee camp in the last few hours and the bombing there, do you think it's a war crime?
It's not for me to say this and to express a judgment. I just think that if we talk about peace, every day that passes and more acts like the ones we've seen will make peace more difficult for everybody.
I think we have time for one more, and I know you're waiting.
Yeah, I'm just wondering, you said that the Gazans don't want to leave Gaza, they want to stay, they don't want to go to Egypt. What is that assessment based on? Because it just seems like 9,000 people have died, and they would probably want to leave to a more safe place.
Let me repeat it once again. People are suffering in Gaza, untold suffering, as we have seen. But we know that the wish of the Palestinians is not to abandon Gaza and to face the unknown, but to receive support in Gaza. And of course, their main wish is for this war to stop. Thank you very much. Thank you.